African nationalism is a political movement for the unification of Africa and for national self-determination.
People thought that the African nationalism movement would not work out because they were under a white government that supported segregation policies. Even so, the movement began anyway, but first in the form of resistance. In 1906, the Native Congress was formed. This Congress was determined to get voting rights for all males and to terminate racial discrimination. The founding members of this Congress were John Langalibalele Dube, Saul Blackie, and Paisley Tsalkaseme. The formation of African Nationalism Congress was the first major step in African nationalism in 1912. They aimed at harmonizing Africans through overcoming ethnic, regional, and linguistic differences to encourage opposition against discrimination.
The ANC struggled in their bid to make changes against segregation laws, so they decided to partner up with other organizations such as the ICU and the CPSA in order to fight against the segregation. The Second World War had a very important impact on the development of African nationalism. Propaganda that was used during the war played a part in encouraging Africans to hope that the post-war would bring an end to the discrimination and opposition, not just in South Africa, but everywhere else. During the time of the war, 125,000 black South Africans volunteered, but they were not given guns or military training because the government feared that they might put an end to the white domination. During this time, Roosevelt and Churchill issued a document titled the Atlantic Charter promising support for self-determination.
In 1943, under Xuma, the ANC drew up a document that called for votes for all adults, fair distribution of land in urban areas, and an end to discrimination in the workplace. In the same year, the Congress Youth League was born. First President Anthony Lembede with Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, and Oliver Tambo as its members. The purpose of the Youth League was to oppose the attitude of the old league. The Congress Youth League were determined to turn the ANC into an activist organization with mass support. The ANC created a program of action that involved the use of boycotts, strikes, stay-at-homes, civil disobedience, and no cooperation. This was known as the Defiance Campaign, launched in 1952 to protest against apartheid rules. Saturday, 25th June 1955, almost 3,000 representatives from all over the country, mostly African, but including Indians, coloureds and whites, met at Kliptown on the veldt outside Johannesburg, now part of Soweto. Here, the ANC adopted the Freedom Charter. That name, Freedom Charter, entailed echoes of both the People's Charter of 19th century Britain and the Atlantic Charter of 1941. However, some ANC members felt that the Freedom Charter was a betrayal of the struggle. As political differences deepened, this broke out in the open in November 1958. Africanist members were excluded from the hall at the Transvaal Provincial Congress of ANC. They formed a political party led by Robert Mangaliso Sobukwe and Potlako Lebalo as secretary. March 21, 1960, the PAC launched what was supposed to be a peaceful anti-pass campaign across the country. 69 people dead in Sharpeville, 180 others injured. The PAC was then banned, and many of its members were arrested. However, others went to exile. Despite the problems in exile, the party lived till it was unbanned in February 1990, and Nelson Mandela was released from jail. In addition, the ANC won South Africa's first democratic election in 1994, and a new flag and national anthem were created.